Tonight on Quinnipiac Live, it's the beginning of the academic year and there's already a lot happening on campus. We'll show you ways that our students are getting involved. New athletics fields, new branding, and new uniforms. Quinnipiac Athletics had a busy summer. We'll take a look at all the exciting changes with our student athletes. Quinnipiac offers a world-sized classroom. We'll talk about ways students are enhancing what they're learning on campus. All that in the ability to join the conversation. Quinnipiac Live starts now. Live from York Hill, it's Quinnipiac Live and I'm your host, Joel Vanner. We have an exciting show for you planned this evening with a lot of guests. Throughout the show, we invite you to join the conversation, submit your questions for our guests in the comments section below. And be sure to like this video to be entered into a drawing for a Bobcat prize pack. One lucky winner will be selected by the end of the show. And I'm joined now by Laomi Akinifesi, Joe Yasso, and Aaron Toomey, the Director of Campus Life for Student Center and Student Involvement. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
So Joe and Laomi, let's talk about what you're involved in at Quinnipiac.
Sure. I'm involved in the Student Government Association, which has always been like my main thing at school. It's just what I do the most. I got involved in it my freshman year and I have ever since. I'm also the vice president of my fraternity, Alpha Sigma Phi. We have a new chapter on campus, so I got to be a founding father, which was really exciting. I also founded my own organization, the Quinnipiac Political Science Association, and I'm just transitioning the leadership over to a new executive board. So I'm really excited that like something I was able to start is now getting transitioned over. And I'm also an orientation leader with the Office of Campus Life, which is super fun.
Laomi, what are your involvements at Quinnipiac?
Currently, I'm a community assistant at for the residents of Westview, and I am also the co-president of the African and Caribbean Student Union. And there we talk about food, we talk about culture, dancing, anything relating to the Caribbean and African diasporas. And I'm also the student worker for ASI, the Albert Schweitzer Institute, and there we relate international issues and also issues here in the U.S., but we also bring it to the Quinnipiac community.
So this is for both Laomi and Joe, but we'll keep with you, Laomi. How have your involvements at Quinnipiac helped you, for lack of a better term, find your place at Quinnipiac?
That's a great question. So to start off, I'm an international student. I'm from Nigeria, so coming to this country, of course, to find myself, to find other people in the community that are also African, and that's where the African and Caribbean Student Union Club came in, learning about people from the Caribbean. I was able to learn about that. And also ASI, we were able to have a delegation that was able to go to Colombia because I love traveling, so there we were able to bring the Quinnipiac community and also represent QU in a different country, which is wonderful.
Student government especially has allowed me to get to know a lot of my peers in the community. When I ran my freshman year, I had to campaign to my whole class, and by doing that I had to go around to every residence hall and practically meet every person. It was insane. But I met a lot of people that way, and then coming into student government, that's kind of what created my core group of friends that has since allowed me to branch out through like their friends, through friends of friends. And that's something that I think a lot of student organizations are able to provide. When you join them, you're surrounded by a ton of people who are also involved and also know a lot of people, and it's kind of what's created my friend network here. So being involved can be so rewarding no matter what it is, even if you're just involved in one thing.
Don't forget, join the conversation, leave your questions in the comment section below as we move into our first question, a question from Kate. Kate asks, coming from Southern California, do you think it will be difficult to transition?
I can actually speak because I've known several students who have come from the Southern California area that were my freshmen during orientation. I was their OL, and it was a little bit strange for them at first because they're coming from like across the country here. But I think once the orientation program, I think is fantastic, which Erin will touch on shortly, is really great at getting people to know each other and know what resources are on campus. And I think no matter where you're from at Quinnipiac, you become part of a very tight-knit community, and it makes it very easy for you to transition wherever you come from.
Joe led right into it, Aaron. Orientation tell us a little bit about what we can expect and what is orientation at Quinnipiac?
Sure, absolutely. I think orientation is, you've signed on the line, you've committed to come, now you're here, you're a Bobcat, right? And so it's this first sort of welcome to what is collegiate life going to look like? What are you going to be exposed to? What are you going to experience? What are classes like? What is it like to make friends in a new environment? How do you get connected? How do you get involved? How do you find your community? These are the things that happen at orientation, and so it's a really awesome opportunity to start to lay that foundation for what you want your story or your legend at Quinnipiac to be.
Talk about the involvement fair, which is the next biggest thing that happens in September. Your thoughts on heading the involvement fair and what it means to provide that experience for students to get involved at Quinnipiac.
Absolutely. So it's, we always kind of joke around in our office, Student Center, Student Involvement, we talk about it's a big puzzle, right? You're trying to fit this puzzle together. There's 150 plus student organizations. And if we don't have something and you want it, you can create it at Quinnipiac, which is exciting. But really it's this awesome day where everyone that's kind of involved comes together and starts to expose the new students to what it means to get connected and involved. What does it mean to be part of a club or an organization, or join intramurals, or take a fitness class, or be an admissions tour guide, right? You get to kind of see all of that in one setting. It's really fun. It happens that first Wednesday of the semester. It's dusk on the quad. You start to really feel, right? Like you start to feel like, oh yeah, I'm here, and this is home now. That starts to happen, I think, really. It starts at orientation, welcome weekend, right up into the involvement fair.
Aaron, relating to that feeling of, wow, I'm here, I'm involved in student media, Q30 here on campus. Among many reasons why I chose Quinnipiac, the student media organizations at Quinnipiac was one of the biggest reasons. And going to the involvement fair as a freshman, going to the Q30 table, to me it was just, wow, here I am, here's this opportunity right in front of me, and I could connect with students who were already in that opportunity, and they were welcoming, and they wanted me to become a part of their family and their organization, for lack of a better a term there. So we are moving into our next question. Don't forget, leave your questions in the comments section below. This is a question from Emma for me. Another California resident, how is the School of Communications? The School of Communications is wonderful. I have taken classes with faculty that I just can't describe, how great it is to be taught by faculty who have so much actual experience in the real world, and then choose Quinnipiac to come back and deliver that education to students in the School of Communications. And you will find that you have opportunities across the United States and across the globe through study abroad, and QUNLA is specific to the School of Communications. That's one of the biggest programs there that they have. So that's something to look into if you want to study at Quinnipiac and you want to go back to California for a semester in LA. That's a program available to you through the School of Communications.
And just to add to that, if you're interested, the School of Communications program, QUNLA, is fantastic. If you're more interested in more like political news journalism, we also have QU in DC, which is brand new, and you can go to the Washington Media Institute for a semester and get an internship with like CNN or a news organization down there and cover politics.
If you're interested in studying abroad across the globe, you'll want to stay tuned in towards the end of our show when we have students here to talk about their study abroad experiences. We have a question from Jacob, and Jacob asks, how do you balance classwork with your extracurricular involvements? Naomi?
I can certainly say, especially because I'm a CA, so there's some things that are pre-set in my schedule, I can certainly say that it helps you to learn how to time manage. So planning, whether it's using your phone, whether it's actually buying a planner, that's what helps me to set my time and know where I'm supposed to go, because there are different clubs and different events, but there are also apps like Cork that helps you to know the different events that are happening, and also I just use apps that help me to time manage.
Joe?
I think this is really important to know that time management isn't always easy. For me, it's definitely not. Everyone's like, because they both know it's true.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and I think it's important, and something that I wish I had done earlier, and what I would recommend to anyone watching is ask for help. There's so many resources on campus that can help you manage your time wisely. For me, it's coming down to I have to plan out every hour of my day, and that works for me, but that might not necessarily work for someone else. So I would really encourage you to go to the Learning Commons and meet with someone, or find the way that works best for you, because that's really what freshman year especially is all about, is learning what works best for you. And I think that time management is a huge piece that you need to focus on right in the beginning.
Erin, do you have a tip for students on how to balance their involvements and their classwork?
Yeah, you know, I think year after year working with student leaders, they often say to me that their involvement is what taught them how to manage their time effectively, right? They wanted to have those opportunities both in the classroom and outside of it. And so if they were going to do that and they were going to keep their grades up, and if they were going to work out and eat, you know, and sleep and all this other stuff and have a social life, they needed to figure out how to manage it all. And so I think often college students come here and that's the biggest skill set sometimes that you walk away with from the involvement opportunity, I think, and really how to vocalize for yourself what it is that you're looking to get out of that opportunity. You find your voice.
Absolutely.
Your question could be asked, but only if you leave it in the comment section below as we move into a question from Kalia. Kalia asks, how do you feel as an African American going to Quinnipiac, and how are you involved?
So I'm actually from Nigeria, and being involved here, what I love is that there's so many clubs on this campus that pertain, for example, the Black Student Union is predominantly for African Americans, but also people of other races. Everyone is free to join. For example, I'm even in Asian Student Alliance. I'm not even Asian, but I still join just because I love to learn about the culture. There are just so many different multicultural organizations that can help you to learn about different things.
Joe, do you want to maybe speak at, or Erin, want to speak at the variety of and diversity of organizations on campus?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I think we have a wide variety. We have everything that is from the academic standpoint to recreational. You want to, you know, ski and snowboard and run and play golf. We have those opportunities. We have opportunities like we just recently recognized a new club, a knitting club, and I was like, yeah, knitting club. This is awesome. You know, you want to dance, you can do that here. You want to be a voice for your peers, you can do that through student government or residence hall council. You want to go Greek, you can do that. You want to be involved in the newspaper, or have a radio show. You are really passionate about your Latino heritage, right? Then you can do that too. There's so many things here. So, and if we don't have it, you can create it. And some of the, I think the best kind of clubs that come about are the ones that came from a passion and from a place that we didn't have. So we created a space for that. African and Caribbean Student Union was one of those just within the last couple of years. Joe with the Poli-Sci Club, you know. These are things that we have the opportunity here for you to kind of craft the experience you're looking for.
And there's also a multicultural suite where you can find your community there, and also different clubs as well.
I think to go along with the just to add to the diversity of organizations, I came from a high school where there were about 8 clubs and organizations that I had the opportunity to join. So when I walked into that involvement fair, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. There's so much to do here. And I didn't really know what to do. So what I always say to freshmen is, sign up for whatever you think you're gonna like. And then if you don't end up liking it that much, it's okay to leave. But then you know exactly what you're really passionate about, and you can carry that with you throughout your college experience, and that can be really rewarding. So don't leave something out just because you're afraid you won't have enough time in the beginning.
Good point, good point. So we move into a question from Karen, and Karen asks, what is there to do within walking distance? What is in the area?
Well, Sleeping Giant State Park is right across the street.
That's number one.
Number one, really, because I go there and hike all the time. Last year when I was a sophomore, in the fall semester, I hiked up almost every day. It only takes about a half an hour to get up and a half an hour to get back down. And it's just such like a tranquil place that's right across the street. Like you kind of feel like you're away from all the stresses of being a college student, and you're in like a completely different world. It's 100% like I would recommend, like you have to do it like your first semester here, no question.
It's so popular that some professors even take their classes to hike Sleeping Giant as part of their class. Well, Joe, Laomi, and Erin, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much, Joel.
Thank you.
If you're interested in finding out more about Quinnipiac and how special our campus community is, then come visit us at our next open house less than 2 weeks away on Saturday, September 23rd. Not only will you be able to experience the vitality of Bobcat Nation, but also be able to see the beauty of our campuses and meet with faculty, staff, and students from every program. To register, visit qu.edu/open house. And don't miss your opportunity to win a customized Bobcat prize pack. Like this video by the end of the live show, and we'll select one lucky winner live before we conclude. There's been many changes during the summer to Quinnipiac Athletics, and to talk about them, we have Greg Tarker from the men's basketball team and Livy Golini from the field hockey team. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Happy to be here.
Yep, thanks for having us.
So Quinnipiac recently partnered with Adidas, as Greg is sporting here and Livy is sporting as well, to outfit all of our 21 Division I athletics teams with the latest high-performance athletic apparel. Thoughts?
I think just in general, it unifies all the teams on campus because now we all have this common gear, this common logo, this common font. Before, every team kind of had a different bobcat, a different font on their sweatshirts or whatever they were wearing. So now, it just unifies, kind of gives us like a common thing to wear, and it's I like it. It's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. They gave us all this new gear, which is really great and really helps us out. And it's different. It's a little bit different than what we've had in the past. It stands out a lot too. And like Livy said, it brings all the athletics together, so it's really nice.
And Livy, you have the Quinnipiac plaid. Addition to your shield here, there's a Quinnipiac plaid flag in the prize pack. So if you like the plaid you see on Livy's quarter zip there, you might want to like this live stream to be entered in to win. Livy, what is it like to incorporate more branding elements like the Quinnipiac plaid into your uniform?
Yeah, well, being on the field hockey team, we're one of the only teams that actually has the plaid on their game day uniforms, and I just think it's another addition to Quinnipiac. To be us, to be the field hockey team for Quinnipiac, it just makes us pop. It's it's just another unique aspect to our game, and it's really just nice to be out there on the field and kind of be the only one with this new aspect that we're trying to incorporate into the whole school.
Don't forget, leave your questions in the comment section below and they will be asked live as we move into a question from Hunter. Hunter asks, I am a hockey player from Canada and am interested in your academic and athletic program. What does a typical day look like for an athlete at Quinnipiac?
It's a lot of work to be an athlete at Quinnipiac, but it's so worth it. A day is you have classes scheduled around your practice times, which is really nice, as well as built-in study hall times, which really helps when it comes to doing well and excelling in the classroom, which is a thing that Quinnipiac really harps on because it's important not to just be great as an athlete, but also to excel as a student. So you put a lot of work into your sport, but you're also kept on top of everything when it comes to academics.
And I feel like being an athlete, you're very focused on time management. You have your games, you have your classes,
Absolutely.
You have your quizzes and things that you need to study for. And what helps is that you're on a team that everyone's in the same boat together. Everyone does the same things. They have classes, and you find your niche, you find your routine, and you stick to it, and it becomes part of you. So it's manageable for sure.
Caroline asks, how often is the library left open for late night access to students? Caroline, the library is open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
I love the library. It's my second home. I take advantage of their 24/7 availability. They have everything that you need, and they even have someone at the reference desk to help you probably until I want to say 7 or 10. It's late at night, so they're there for all day whenever you need them, and they're so helpful. They're happy. They're really nice people. So I'd say take advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. The library being open 24/7, especially for athletes, helps a lot. We have a lot of things that we try and fit into our day, so studying is a part of that day that sometimes has to come later. So the library is awesome that it's open so late. It gives us an opportunity to find somewhere quiet to really settle down and get all of our stuff done.
There have been some other changes in athletics, including the opening of the new athletics fields at Hogan Road, hosting soccer, field hockey, and lacrosse. Livy, you play on those new athletics fields at Hogan Road, and what are your thoughts on them?
It's fantastic. Honestly, it's amazing. I love playing on it. They're just being finished built now, so it's really just a testament to their amazing quality. It's brand new. These new fields, this complex is going to bring us to the next level in our competition. We're going to be able to excel in our game, and having one of the facilities, the best facilities in our conference, it's going to give us a home field advantage, and I just can't wait to be on it for the next 3 years that I'm here.
Greg, you play up on the York Hill campus at the Quinnipiac Sports Center. Talking about state-of-the-art facilities, you play in another state-of-the-art facility we have here at Quinnipiac. What are your thoughts on the sports
Absolutely.
center?
We're extremely blessed to have this York Hill campus, to have the facilities up here. Both hockey and basketball have just incredible facilities that in both of our conferences are really top of the line. So it's really nice. And again, the same as down below on the Hogan Fields, the proximity to campus is unbelievable. It really gives students an opportunity to get to games, regardless of what time they are, where they're being played. We're lucky because we have our athletic facilities, within a 5-minute shuttle ride, or if you're on main campus, it's a 5-minute walk. It's really great, and hopefully we'll be able to see a lot more people coming out to the games and supporting all the teams that way.
So don't forget, leave your questions in the comment section below and they will be asked live as we move into a question from Megan. Megan asks, are there career fairs on campus to gain summer internships or employment after graduation? Do you guys know anything about the career fairs that Quinnipiac offers to students?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are career fairs that go on each semester. I know, especially being from a part of the business school, there are career fairs that students in the business school are actually, it's mandatory that you go. The business school wants you to get your name out there. They want you to get out there and really experience what it's like talking to professionals, talking to potential employers. So Quinnipiac does an incredible job of getting a ton of different people here and available to us so that we can ask questions and kind of get a feel of what it's like.
And Greg, sticking with the School of Business, how well do your professors help you out? Being an athlete, you always have a busy schedule. Are your professors, understanding to your schedule, and how do you guys work together to achieve, the goal?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the School of Business, especially speaking from experience, is incredible. I have a very good relationship with all of my professors, and that's not only a testament to me reaching out to them, but also a testament to the professors. Almost all the professors that I've had have said if they don't know everyone in their class's name by the end of the semester, they're doing something wrong. They really care about each individual student, and having a busy schedule, they completely understand. They either have other sections that you can go to if you miss a class, or they're always, uploading things online or helping you out if you were to miss assignments. So it's really helpful. They really care about your success, and they're there for you. So it's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, and to go off of that, actually, I'm a biology major, so I'm busy as well, like everyone else in this campus. But I missed a lot of classes for sports and et cetera, and I would just reach out to my professors and we'd make time to fix that, and would either give me a little mini lesson or tell me like what I missed just in preparation. And in that sense, like I created a relationship with my professors and we're really close, and in doing so, I would highly advise creating relationships with your professors because a couple of them ended up being like references for internships and jobs I ended up applying to. So just like having that foundation with your professors is an amazing experience, and just to have that support with you throughout your 4 years here as well.
Absolutely.
We have a question from Steven. Steven asks, what's the atmosphere at sporting events?
We have a great atmosphere, especially now we have a brand new facility down on Hogan. So I know Livy and we're all really pumped to see the kind of appearances that we see from our student section there. We've had a couple scrimmages and games there already, and there's already been an increase in attendance. The hockey games here are unbelievable. You have a very low chance of getting a ticket to the game. They sell out in about 15 seconds when the tickets go online. Our school spirit here is really high. The students here are always rooting for the athletic teams. They really want to see people win, and they just love rooting for the Bobcats.
So we're gonna, not to cut you off, we're gonna stick with engagement and fans, and Quinnipiac Athletics announced a new mobile app that will unlock everything a Bobcats fan would need right in their pocket. So knowing that now, what does it mean to know that your fans who are up in the stands are going to be even more engaged with you while you're down there playing your sport?
I mean, being an athlete, having the support from your school is just like all you can need. I mean, Greg could probably attest this. When you're playing and you hear cheers all around you, that just like focuses you in on the game, and that just wants to make you play better. You know, you want to show your friends and family what you've been practicing, what you've been playing for, and like, I mean, having that addition to the fan app, that's another tool that we can use just to like have the support. I mean, the cheers, you know, when you're playing just gets you even more hyped.
Yeah, having the back of the student body behind you when you're playing is just, it's an extra part of the game that a lot of people overlook. Having people behind you, having that support from your fan section is what really can make teams elevate to that next level. And that's what a lot of the sports teams here at Quinnipiac are trying to do. These sports teams are right on the edge of greatness. A lot of them, you've seen our women's basketball team, incredible, our hockey team, absolutely incredible. And these students know it and they're excited about it. And having them behind us is just an opportunity for us to even get to that next level. So it's really great. We're excited about it.
Well, Livy and Greg, thank you so much for joining me this evening, and be on the lookout on the Quinnipiac University Facebook page for more information on when that app will be released. If you're interested in seeing the new athletics fields and experiencing the Quinnipiac spirit for yourself, then come visit us at our next open house less than 2 weeks away on Saturday, September 23rd. Stay afterwards to cheer on our women's rugby and men's soccer teams as they compete in their new homes. To register, visit qu.edu/open house. Time is running out. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your chance to win a Bobcat prize pack with all the latest Quinnipiac swag to show your support for Bobcat Nation. All you have to do is like this video by the end of the live show, and we will select a winner before we sign off. And I'm joined now by Kristen McNeil and Erica Daniela. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having us.
So you may have heard the term world-sized classroom, and at Quinnipiac we offer just that. From semester-long study abroad experiences to short-term faculty-led trips, Quinnipiac's classroom expands around the globe. So Erica, let's start with your experience. You had a January intersession to Dubai, correct?
Right. So I do research through the Bioarchaeology Institute at Quinnipiac, and through that I was able to travel to the United Arab Emirates in January and December and do a research project there. So,
and Kristen, you went to Spain?
Yes, I did. I had the opportunity to study in Sevilla and actually live with a host family while I was studying at the University of Pablo de Olavide there.
So what was you had a homestay component when you studied abroad in Spain. What was that like?
It was very interesting, and I loved it actually doing it. When you go abroad, especially to Spain, you have the option to do a homestay or a residencia. And I chose the homestay because I really wanted to be immersed into that culture and also be able to practice my language constantly at home, which my host family did not speak any English at all, so that was very interesting.
Kristen, you're a nursing major,
yes.
And something unique is that you're a nursing major who studied abroad here at Quinnipiac. So tell me a little bit about how you were able to do that and what experiences you got away from your study abroad experience to help with your nursing career.
Yes. Well, I think it's great for nurses to go abroad because it's such an enriching experience, and you learn so much about different cultures, which is important when it comes to nursing. Mm-hmm. And in Quinnipiac nursing especially, we learn to treat the mind, body, and soul holistically. And you really learn that going abroad and looking at other cultures and how they practice medicine and they live their daily lives. And Quinnipiac Nursing and the Quinnipiac Study Abroad office is there your whole time with you, helping you with paperwork and getting there and making sure that your classes are right, and taking anatomy while you're over there is a very different experience. That was amazing.
We have a question from Kate. Don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section below and we will ask them live. Kate asks, is it hard to balance a nursing major, a minor, and a sport? I want to continue playing tennis throughout college, but I'm afraid I won't have time.
I do not personally play a sport, but I am a nursing major and I know plenty of athletes that are in nursing, and it is a rigorous program. It's very tough, but you know what? It's worth it in the end because it's a very well-known program, and it comes down to time management. You have to be able to balance and use that planner that we all buy and scribble down notes in. And it takes that to really balance. You have to know when your tests are and assignments are due. And the nursing community as a whole is very supportive. All my professors, they have their office hours, they respond to emails if you have questions, and they're always there making sure and helping you along the way.
Erica, how did your first study abroad experience lead to your second experience that you had?
Right.
And tell us a little bit about where those were.
so as I mentioned before, in January I was able to travel to Dubai, and that field experience gave me an experience I would have never gotten anywhere else. So Quinnipiac definitely influenced that, and because of that experience I was able to have a very competitive application for a National Science Foundation research fellowship this summer that I went and traveled to Sicily, Italy for, and that again was an archaeology trip. And in both instances they're pretty similar because I was able to experience a completely different culture than I would have experienced here, but Quinnipiac did give me the resources and knowledge through my classes and their plentiful undergrad research opportunities to succeed in those fields.
Well, Quinnipiac offers long-term, short-term, and faculty-led trips across the globe for credit and non-credit, faculty-led, which could be tied to a course or not tied to a course. The Quinnipiac Study Abroad emphasizes learning, cultural competency, civic engagement, and critical reflection. You can be a freshman, undeclared, or a grad student about to graduate. There are opportunities for global engagement. So say someone wants to study abroad, what's the best piece of advice you would give them?
I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely, having that opportunity, I was blessed to have that opportunity, but it's absolutely amazing. You get to learn about all different cultures, no matter where you go, Dubai, Spain, anywhere in the world.
Did you consider a short-term study abroad, and how did you end up choosing Spain? I know you're a nursing major, so your options are limited, but what mindsets do you have when you were trying to choose from all the programs that Quinnipiac has to offer?
Short term was definitely in my mind. Also, the spring trip breaks. I know nursing goes down to Nicaragua, but I had wanted to, like I said earlier, really practice that language and be immersed into the culture, especially with a host family. And with the host family, I was able to learn. My host mom would teach us how to make cultural dishes typical of Spain. She would show us the routes around the city and everything, and teach us things that we hadn't learned, that we wouldn't learn here in the United States. But I would suggest going abroad for a semester to anyone, because even though at the time it might seem a little scary, 6 months in a different country, especially one you might not know the language, but it really helps you it really affects you in a good way.
I would also add, go for it, definitely.
Yeah.
It's an experience everybody should have. But also, don't be afraid to go, especially if you're going by yourself or with people you don't really know. So for the Dubai trip, it was me, a professor here, Dr. Ullinger, and another Quinnipiac student, but we also went with students from the University of South Alabama, so we were able to network with them and their professors. And then over the summer when I went to Italy, that program reached out to students from all over the country. So we were able to gain so many different viewpoints and network with people from all over the country.
Don't forget to leave your questions in the comments section below, and we will ask them live as we transition to a question from Allie. How does Quinnipiac prepare you for study abroad?
Well, for me personally, I'm a biology major, and so that definitely comes in handy when you're dealing with skeletal remains from thousands of years ago. I've taken the anatomy and physiology classes, Bio 101, and those definitely prepared me skill-wise. But in addition, Quinnipiac has so many undergraduate research opportunities, so I've been fortunate enough to have great mentors in the biology and anthropology departments. And so by learning more about the research process from them, and them being such great mentors and challenging me and encouraging me to pursue these projects, that definitely prepared me to go out on my own and apply for these different fellowships.
Kristen?
Yeah, I'd have to say very similar answer is I've taken the core curriculum here, I've taken many classes that related to learning about different cultures and how they lived and how it was different from living in the United States. And being a nursing major, that actually helped me with the major, because that's important, is to know about many cultures. And Quinnipiac's always there right by your side, helping you go through the process with if you need a visa for traveling, helping you with the paperwork. They're always right there encouraging you.
Alexa asks what I think is the $1 million question. Why did you choose Quinnipiac?
What originally drew me to Quinnipiac was that it's a university that has so many programs, things to offer as big universities have. But it's still the size of a small to medium college. So you have this very intertwined, very knit community, but you have these opportunities that you wouldn't get at a smaller school.
I'd have to say the same thing. Quinnipiac is it's a community. It's really, as soon as you walk on the campus, you feel the liveliness of the students, especially we were talking about sporting events earlier. Those are a fun time to go to. And I think just the environment of not only the students, but we have Sleeping Giant. It's an absolutely beautiful campus, and it was just that feeling walking onto campus that it was the right choice.
Right. And we're up here on York Hill right now, which is an absolutely beautiful campus.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It is beautiful. We have a question from Kate, and Kate asks, what has been your favorite part or learning experience so far as a nursing major?
My favorite learning experience, I mean, it might sound repetitive, but my abroad experience was amazing. And like I said earlier, the nursing program at Quinnipiac is unique because we are a holistic nursing program, which I believe is only 1 out of 33 in the country, which is very unique. But going abroad, I was able to relate the things we had learned in one of my nursing classes before I left to things abroad and seeing it firsthand. And while we were abroad, Quinnipiac actually sponsored an event so that the Quinnipiac students could go to a clinic over there and visit and see how it functioned and how it was a little different from the United States and how we were used to seeing things done over here.
Kristen, not to keep harping on your homestay experience, but what was your favorite part about doing a homestay, which is an opportunity available to students in a lot of our study abroad programs?
I loved the homestay. I think it was the best decision I could have made going there. Actually, one other girl from Quinnipiac was my roommate, and we were the only two with them, the family. And it really, it just immersed us into the culture. We were able to communicate with the family in Spanish, which was a little intimidating at times, but worked out. And like I said earlier, they would teach us the cooking, just the culture. My host mom was a avid siesta taker, which taught us a little that even if you're stressed out with work, it's important to take that hour or two to yourself every day to kind of rejuvenate yourself and make sure that you're good for the rest and to keep pushing on. But I would definitely recommend a homestay. It can seem very intimidating living with a family, but absolutely the best decision I made.
Mm-hmm. And what was your favorite experience you had in either of your trips going abroad?
That's a tough question. So I guess my favorite overall part about going abroad was being able to meet people from all over the world. So when we were in Dubai, we were able to meet people who lived there, and on their property they had these 4,000-year-old tombs. Mm-hmm. And when we were researching them, we got to communicate with them and see their lifestyle. And same thing in Italy. We were in a very small town in Sicily, so nobody really spoke English. It was a very tight-knit community. So being able to just live with those people for a little bit and see like you were saying how they live their lives and how they spend time with themselves is very rewarding and interesting.
It sounds like you guys had really great experiences abroad and a lot of things that enhanced your education here once you came back to Quinnipiac. So thank you both for joining me tonight. Don't miss out on the opportunity to find out more about Quinnipiac and what makes our community such a great place. Come to the first fall open house on Saturday, September 23rd. To register, visit qu.edu/open house. And before we leave you, we have drawn a name from all the likes on this video, and our lucky winner of the Bobcat prize pack is... Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Do you guys know who it is?
It's a pretty awesome pack.
Do you know who it is?
Did you win?
No, I didn't win.
Did I win?
The winner is Lisa Keys of Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Congratulations, Lisa. We will be in contact with you soon. That's all the time we have for our show this evening. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you, and I especially hope to see you on one of our campuses soon.